Hey, what's up, guys? So first things, I want to apologize for my voice. It's still coming back. But as Lindsay and I were talking about this year and some things that we wanted to do at the gym and share with you guys, one of those things was, diet. And so we've kind of forgot that it took years for us to find, the correct food types and what, blends of foods works best with our body based on our goals and activity ranges. And what we want to do is kind of take you guys on that journey and give you guys the tools so that you'll be able to find what works best for you. So we're going to shoot a video series on that, so we hope you guys enjoy that. Like I said, the goal of this series is we're going to try to give you guys the tools to find what is going to work best for you. We're not experts by any means. We don't claim to be. We're not prescribing one diet type over the other or advocating one diet type over the other. We're simply going to be sharing our experiences, the knowledge that we have accumulated based on the different types of diets, and how to best apply those principles to yourself as individuals. So first things, realize that there's no one size fits all. Everybody's different, and so every diet is going to affect people differently. You can take two people that are following the same prescription and it will have two totally separate effects based on, there's several things to consider, but you've got sex, you've got body mass or body fat, activity range, the age. There's just a lot of things that come into play. And so, like I said, our goal is to give you guys the tools to be able to deal with that. And so, like I said, that's going to be our series, our first video that's going to be coming up. Lindsay's going to be talking about the different types and basically what we do day one when somebody comes in and asks us about how to change their diet to get ready to start moving towards, the goals that they have with their life. So again, like I said, we hope you guys enjoy this series, and Lindsay will be giving the first one. And again, remember, at any time, if you guys have questions, please come and ask us. We'll be happy to help any way we can.
Like Aaron said, we're launching a new video series on what is the best diet for you, because ultimately all of our diets will look a little different, and you have to figure out what works best for you through trial and error and so forth. Some of the diets we'll be covering in this series include a clean eating diet, Whole30 paleo, as well as a diet based off of our body types, the keto diet, macro counting like RP and zone, as well as intermittent fasting. And I want to also disclaimer that I am not an expert as well, but I do have a master's in nutrition, and I've been teaching these concepts for several years, and I really enjoy this, and I've done a lot of personal research on it. Today, I'm going to specifically focus on a diet that I wouldn't say it has a specific name, but I call it the clean eating diet, and I believe it's also the gold standard for anyone to eat. This country is riddled with inflammation and disease. 80% of how we feel and perform and our overall health has to do with what we're putting into our bodies, and which is related to diet. And so I'm going to talk a little bit about what is clean eating. I'm sure you've heard of that concept before. I like to break it down to one big principle, and that is called grow, butcher, or grow, slaughter, however you want to look at it. If you can grow it out of the ground, or you can actually slaughter it or harvest it, fish it, whatever, then it was designed to go into your body according as God's purposes for our body, or as nature intended. For example, you can grow apples, carrots, you can grow fruits, vegetables, nuts, seeds, whatever. You can't grow Cheerios. You can't grow Pop-Tarts, unfortunately. Okay, those things just don't grow out of the ground. You can take ingredients from things out of the ground and make those. That leads into a processed food. Butcher, for example, you can butcher a variety of animals, whether it's chicken or beef or wild game. You can fish. You can cut off whole pieces like a chicken breast or a ribeye, but you can't slaughter a salami or a bologna. Those are a little bit more processed on down the road meats, okay? So keeping it simple, that's very, very simple. When you eat, is it something that you can grow? Is it something that can be butchered easily? Okay, think about those things. Most of those types of foods are found on the outside aisles of our grocery store, mostly, okay? So that's one way to start. Over here, I also have how we should divide up our plate between protein, carbs, and vegetables and so forth. Basically, if you can think about when you look at your plate, if you can get half of your plate to be vegetables, specifically non-starchy vegetables, that's going to be great. That fills you up with fiber. We get lots of vitamins and minerals from fruits and vegetables there. Then you can take 2 other portions of your plate, basically a fourth and a fourth, eyeball in it, and have part of it be your protein, the other part being your carb source, okay? This helps us have a nice balanced meal every time. Now, I don't know if you can see it, but I have a nice little slither in there where we can add in some healthy fat. In the future, I'll be doing some videos specifically going over carbs, fats, and proteins, but I'm keeping it more big picture today. If you're wanting to know, if you're looking at your protein source, typically if you look at the palm of your hand, okay, the size of your palm is about roughly what you need in a sitting for protein. So my palm is a lot smaller than Aaron's palm, so he's larger than I am, has more muscle, so he might need more protein than me, right? And so it's kind of more specific to you. If you're adding in a healthy fat, whether it's butter or whatever, about a thumb size, right? That just kind of gives you an idea that you're not doing too much or too little, okay? And overall, what I like to promote with this clean eating model is making sure you have a good balance of foods that might be acidic versus alkaline, okay? Disease and inflammation thrive in an acidic environment, okay? Disease cannot survive and thrive in an alkaline environment. So I have a very basic chemistry lesson here, okay? Got your pH scale of 0 being acidic, the balance at 7 in the middle, and alkaline or your base at 14 over here, okay? So anything 6 or under is more acidic. Obviously 8 to 14 is more alkaline. And a variety of different foods can make our diets be more alkaline or acidic. And there's a lot of research out there on that. I'm keeping it very big concepts today. What you would like to see is to have an overwhelmingly more alkaline-based diet versus acidic, or make sure that the majority of your plate is alkaline versus acidic, okay? So what foods are more alkaline? Vegetables, all the vegetables you can get, right? Tons of vegetables and fruits, lentils, coconut oil, olive oil, and distilled water. And those are just a few. You can look up a lot more there. Those give us more of an alkaline diet. Acidic diet would be processed foods, alcohol, sugar, wheat, dairy, all the really good stuff. Some meats as well, soda, okay? Most of us generally know that some of those things are not the best for us, but they are on a more acidic level. So if your diet's overwhelmingly acidic, you're more likely to not feel your best, not perform your best. It's harder to lose weight, and you might be having some other markers of inflammation like high cholesterol, high blood pressure, or something related to that. So overall, you want to think more basic, leaning that way versus more acidic. And that's just the top few concepts with clean eating. There's a lot to it, but I like to keep it simple. You don't want to overcomplicate this, all right? So that's why I love the whole just what can you grow, what can you butcher. If you can get that to be in your diet at least 80% of the time, no one's going to be perfect with it. We're going to have celebrations where we're not eating as close to nature as we are intended to. That's okay, but if you can get to where you're doing this helps create really healthy habits, and then it can lead into more complicated things like counting carbs and how much fat should I have in a day and stuff. I think this is where most people need to start to create those healthy habits to get healthier and to feel better overall. And that's really what I have to say about clean eating. Look forward for our next videos on this. Aaron and I are here to answer all your questions, and we'll just keep getting this information out to you guys. And hopefully it's going to be very useful for you, and I appreciate any good feedback on it. Thanks, guys.